Good morning, JCT. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Here, glad you're stopped in to see us here at the Safety Mile with Jack and Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jack. Good to see you guys. I don't have my birthdays and stuff printed out. Didn't get that done this morning. I apologize. We'll double down on it next week.
We will.
But since I don't, we're going to do something a little different this morning.
We got a treat for you.
Pure treat. We're going to do another prize. Daniel Finney won our hat and our lunch out with myself and Kyle.
What an honor. Congrats, Danny.
So, Daniel, next time you come to the yard, give us a call a day in advance before you'll be here and meet us at lunchtime, and Kyle and I is going to take you to lunch. We're going to do it again.
Ooh.
We did the movie scene last time.
That's right.
Yeah, so we did that. This time, I'm going to read a song lyric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going to read one verse of a song lyric, and if you can guess the correct title of the song and the artist, I'm going to give you a hint on the artist. As far it's a band. Okay,
Band.
Got to get the band back.
That
together,
really
man.
narrows it down.
Narrows it down. We're getting the band back together.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to read the lyric, but here's the trick. I'm going to read it, and it's not so good, but it's my best I can do.
It's pretty good.
Sean Connery impersonation.
That's right.
So I'm going to read the song lyric as Sean Connery.
Let's get it, Sean.
Okay, here we go. Got my notes pulled up here. Okay. This is about, I'll even give you another hint. It's about the third verse of this song. So
You're
here
giving
we
them
go.
Too many hints now. They're
Well,
gonna
you
know.
know, hey, it's not going to be easy.
All right.
I mean, come on, here we go. Okay. My shadow is the only one that walks beside me. My shadow's heart, the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there would find me. Till then, I walk alone. Ah, 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 ah.
Woo! My goodness.
Okay, so if you guys can figure that one out, here on our Facebook page, if you put the song title, just in the comments, drop the song title and the band name. Shelby, myself, Kyle, we'll watch it. The
That's
first
right.
one, first JCT driver
That's right.
that nails that. Next time you're at the yard, Kyle and I are going to take you to lunch. We're going to get you a JCT hat. Okay, get that all turned off there. Whew.
So good.
That was rough. Okay,
No,
Kyle.
you did awesome.
All right, what are we going to talk about this week?
All right, so I just want to reiterate what is coming down the pipeline next week for you guys. Okay, so from May 16th, Tuesday, to May 18th, Thursday, we've got the CVSA 72-hour inspection and enforcement blitz.
Yep, safety blitz. Here it comes.
Right around the corner. So already, you know, they, of course, the DOT officers, they can see the last 8 days of your log. So what you're doing right now does have an influence on what can happen, you know, a week from now.
Very true.
So it's a good idea to get on the ball with certain things. I just kind of want to reiterate again a few things. One, availability, your hours of service. Jack, you were talking about how you always need to check that at the beginning of your day, right?
Yeah, you know, trip planning, guys, keep in mind when Kyle's going to hit on pre-trips and post-trips as well.
Right.
But your daily trip planning, you know, kind of how we plan out our day, most of us drivers do that in our heads. We always have like a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C, which usually plan A is like that we plan out our day and we plan to stop here. If everything goes good, I should make it to this destination by the end of the day. But then we have plan B that, hey, if traffic's great, I'm making good time, I could make it here if everything goes well today. And then we have plan C that if everything just goes to heck and you can't, nothing goes right, traffic's terrible, you've got plan C that you're going to make it here. So keep in mind your daily trip planning falls underneath your umbrella of your pre-trip. So that the time you're doing your your trip planning, that falls underneath that umbrella of your pre-trip. As far as DOT is concerned, that's when you spend your time doing that.
That's right.
So we want to make sure we're planning our days correctly so we don't get into situations where we're running out of hours out there on the road.
Sure.
You know, we're all watching our hours of service. either our tablet or our Qualcomm there on our dash. It tells us our time we have left. It's counting it down for us.
That's right.
So once it reaches a certain point, we pretty much need to have a plan of stopping so we don't violate our hours of service.
Right.
You know, so and it changes, and it's not, and parking is not real great out there either.
Right, yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, even a second over that 14-hour, 11-hour, 8-hour, 70-hour, it's a violation. It results in a violation. So it's not like, oh, it was only a second. That could get you a ticket right there. Another thing to consider is, like, is that worth it? Is, like, that extra 10 minutes of drive time or 30 minutes of drive time worth, like, getting just a little bit further down the road? In the case that you could potentially get a ticket for, you know, quite a bit of money. It'll be on your record for 2 years as well if you get that violation. So weigh those things. Make sure you're prepping correctly and not going over your hours, please.
another good hint, and I see a lot of guys do this, do not switch yourself to personal conveyance to travel on down the road to get to where you want to park.
Right.
Okay? That has just changed from an hours of service violation to a falsification.
Yeah,
Okay, so we do not want to play around with falsifications. They get very nasty.
for real.
So do not implement personal conveyance in that manner. You cannot switch right in the middle of the highway while sitting on the highway because you're running out of time to
Yes.
PC. We cannot do that, guys.
Yeah, safe place to park. I see that note a lot when it comes to using PC, which is fine. Typically, what that is meant to be used for is if you're at like a shipper already, you need to be getting to a safe place to park because you know you can't stay there. That's fine in that case. However, like if you're just straight up on the highway, like you didn't plan well enough. Like I know that stuff comes up, but like you mentioned, you got to make sure you have plan A, plan B, plan C, just to make sure you're in that spot. So do make sure if you're going to use personal conveyance, one, make sure you're putting in a good remark in there because again, that's one thing they're going to be checking for sure in the next upcoming week, right?
You bet you. You bet
It's
you.
an easy one for them to give you a violation, just by aspects of sometimes you can't prove you actually what you were doing was personal, and also you might be misusing it as well.
Yeah. Annotate, annotate, annotate. Add those notes.
For sure.
And guys, a lot of times, and I might have said this last week, I'm not sure, but when you're adding your notes to your logs, whether it's changing a duty status, personal conveyance, I don't care what it is, your notes are there to answer the questions of the officer or whoever is looking at the log. So do not put vague information just like food. What you know, guys put one word things in there. Entertainment. You need to put a little bit, you know, just 2 or 3 words so whoever is looking at the logs knows what you're doing. You don't need to put no biography down, but a couple words. If your note is creating more questions, then that is a problem. So
Yep.
make sure your notes are answering the questions of the situation, not exaggerating it.
That's right. Yeah, keep that PC nice and clean, folks. With that as well, uncertified logs. That's an easy one for you guys to get a violation of for. Make sure you're certifying every day. If you're finishing a day, make sure you're going into your logs, hitting that certification or certify button, and making sure that you have accepted or you've told us that those logs were in fact true. Again, a really easy one for you to complete and avoid getting an easy violation for. And again, pre-trip and post-trips, like you were mentioned there.
Exactly.
One of the main things you're going to be checking out next Tuesday through Thursday is the ABS, right? The anti-lock braking system.
Make sure it's functioning correctly.
Yeah, where would they check for that?
Usually on the truck, it's going to be on your dash on the truck. And basically all that happens, if the ABS light is going to come on, it's not that you're losing brakes or anything. The ABS function is not working. It will just revert to the regular braking. On the trailer, there's a light on the driver's side back at the very end corner of the trailer at the back. A little yellow light. It says ABS on it. If that little yellow light is on and is staying on constant, the trailer no longer has the ABS capability. That has malfunctioned. So once again, it does not mean you're losing your braking. It's just going to revert back to the regular standard braking. You lose that ABS capability, the pulsating type to the anti-lock, basically.
Got you. So in the case of that, like popping up for them, rather on their dash or you said on the back of their driver's side truck, what should they do? What is like the next step?
First thing you want to call road service, breakdown, the breakdown department, get with them, and they will do what they need to do to help you get that taken care of. they will give you directive on where to go, who to see, and get that fixed, and we'll get it taken care of.
Yep, awesome. Also, another thing they're going to be checking out is load securement, right? Cargo securement. Where that comes in for us is mostly just load locks, which should be something you guys have on your person at all times. With that as well,
on the truck.
I
don't carry them on my person.
Wear them as earrings.
Big earrings.
With that as well, also you want to make sure that you're scaling your load after you've done depart shipper before you do loaded call, just to make sure that you don't have an overweight asset out on the road there.
And guys, if you're picking up a load in Florida going to California, we know where the tandems of the trailer need to be set. So when you go to the scale and you're trying to scale it, you need to have that trailer in the California hole, because it's going to California. Mm-hmm. I mean, just because you're going to be legal for every state you cross until you get to California, once you get to Kingman, what are you going to do? It's not going to be legal to go into California. So make sure you're right. You know the destination. Don't think you're going to hand a problem off to somebody else. That's not professional, and that's not the way we do things around here.
In summary, availability. Keep your eyes on your hours of service. Don't go over those hours. Uncertified logs. Certify those logs every day. Personal conveyance. Keep that personal conveyance to a minimum. And also make sure you're putting in great remarks that can let both us and the officer know exactly what you were doing at that time. Pre-trips and post-trips. Make sure you're doing those every day as well. Checking that ABS light both in your truck and the back of it. Don't put load locks on your body. Put them on the trailer, right? And also make sure you are weighing those loads and adjusting your tandems as necessary.
Yeah, that's neat. Okay, my safety message this week, this is going to be a little bit different. Guys, over the next couple weeks, schools are going to be getting out. Mm-hmm. Kids are going to be, we're going to see kids out and about, running around, doing things that kids do. So we need to actually have our mind focused in that direction, that we're going to be seeing kids where we're not used to seeing kids. So keep that in mind. We're going to see more kids out and about. They're going to be in trucks with their mom and dads out on the road, maybe taking a ride with grandma or grandpa or their aunt and uncle, get out and see the country, get to ride in a truck for a little bit.
Enjoying summer, right?
Enjoying summer. So we're going to be seeing some of these kids in places where we're not used to seeing them, such as truck stops, is out and about around the trucks. We're going to start seeing them at shippers and receivers. So be aware of that. So it don't take you surprised, because children are very unpredictable in how they move and what they do, because they just don't necessarily always understand the environment they're in. So we got to be the professionals and be prepared with that. Also, dealing with our shippers and receivers, you're going to see yard maintenance crews out moving around at our shippers and receivers. They're going to be on their lawnmowers with their earbuds in, their hearing protection on, so they may not hear us coming up on them. So they may not necessarily see us. They might come out from mowing grass over on one side of the facility and come out from between trucks and pull out in front of us on their lawnmower. They're carrying their weed eater, walking across the parking lot. They may not hear us, so they may not see us. So we've got to be ready and prepared in those types of environment. I know, because a lot of these environments, because we are moving at a slower speed, guys don't tend to pay as much attention. That's one of the things that makes shippers, receivers, truck stops very dangerous places, because people don't pay as much attention. But the true fact is, the four most dangerous places you will ever go as a truck driver. One, it's going to be sitting on the side of the road, because maybe you didn't do a proper pre-trip. We've blown a hose, we threw a belt or something like that. Now we're on the side of the road. That is a very dangerous place to be as a driver. The other places, intersections, truck stops, shipper receivers. Why? Because we have slow moving traffic. We have traffic moving at all angles, and people not paying attention, and pedestrian traffic on top of that. So it creates very dangerous environments. So be ready, be prepared. We're going to see kids out running around, playing in these places where we're not necessarily used to seeing them all the time. So be ready for that. Anything else you want to throw in the bell?
No, guys. Just remember, keep an eye on those logs. Keep everything nice and tight for the next week, and we're going to be able to get through this May 16th through 18th.
What do you mean next week? Do it always.
Always, of course. But 16th through the 18th, it's like it's a tough.
It's crucial. They're going to be out there checking, but if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, no worries.
You're going to be fine.
All right, once again, guys, our mission statement: we strengthen our communities by providing safe, reliable transportation solutions to our communities.
That's right. And our vision: North America's most trusted transportation solutions provider. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
Take care. Be safe, guys.